I decided to go live now. It's a bit crazy. Let me get over here. Now, everybody, you're going to hear a washer and a dryer in the back. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Let me go to live streaming. Let's see if I'm live. We're going to go live. We're going to go live. We're going live. We are live. We're live, everybody. Welcome. It's a Sunday night. You might hear in the background a washer dryer and some stuff going on in the back. I was supposed to schedule this, and I scheduled this video for Wednesday, Thursday, but I said, what the hey, I might as well go live and talk to you guys right now. It's a Sunday night, and it's 9:04. I'm doing some tests. I bought a new sound card. I've been having problems, but things are doing a lot better. So I guess before I start, I'm just going to get my little things set up here because I got to make sure I talk about things I have to talk about. And that is the most important thing, is that this channel is not only about getting your shot, but it is also about, just let me get to my full face. This channel is not about just getting your shot, but it is also about, guys, the journey getting there. So I want you to check out a couple of things I have going on. I want you to check out the behind the scenes I did with Clara. It's quite a cool video, and it was a lot of fun. And recently I just did another video with Camille, and next to me right there on that shot is Annick La Liberté, is her manager. She's a circus artist, and we did some shots in a place called Caravan Co-op, and it was a lot of fun, guys. It was a lot of fun. Feel free to chat with me. I'm there to chat with you, and today I'm talking about the pros and cons of the X-T20. I will do my best to tell you what I think. I don't know if they're going to be to your liking. I'm sure I might get some people that are going to yell and scream. Now, before I start this, I want to tell you guys to make sure and bear in mind a couple of things. Why do I own the X-T20? I own the X-T20 because I was looking for a street cam / B cam for my X-T2. So I already own the X-T2. So any comments I make on the pros and cons of the X-T2 is coming from a guy who is a current owner of the X-T2, which I do love, by the way, guys. Right now, it's got the F2 on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got the F2 35mm on it. It kicks ass, and I really do like it. So let's get into the content of this video, which is what I talked about. So make sure you check out those videos. They're kind of cool. And oh yes, another thing I gotta mention to you guys. You have to check, I'm gonna have to go to another video here. I'm gonna have to go to another page. On my YouTube channel, I have a poll, and on that poll, I'm talking about, let me go there. On that poll, I'm talking about a couple of things, and I really do have to get your attention on this thing. It is super, super important. Just give me a second here. I just got to go to, where do I go? I go to here, view my channel and poll. I don't know how to get to that yet. Here we go, community. Yes, let me pull that in right here, and I will show you that. Right now, I'm doing a poll, and here's the question. Little question. I have been thinking of posting on my musical creative process as well as my photographic process, creative process. How willing are you to this type of video post? Now, I put these 4 choices in: not willing at all, indifferent, somewhat willing, and very willing. Now, as you can see from the results here, I got some people saying very willing, 26% saying somewhat willing, indifferent 21%, and not willing at all. So I still don't know what to do, because basically it's a quarter everywhere, a bit more on the very willing, but it's a big paradigm shift that my channel might take a bit. I'm still going to be doing photo, guys, all the time. I love photo, and it's all about creation. So those type of things I will be doing, but I'm just a tiny tad afraid of making a decision when the very willing is 32, somewhat willing is 26, indifferent 21, and not willing at all is at 21%. So if you guys can, go onto the community section of my channel and in that answer the poll. Help me out. The more feedback I get on that, listen, I am willing to listen to you guys. I want to listen to what you guys have to say, and I think it is super important to make sure that I do something that is along the lines of what you guys want. It's just that I find that the music creation process that I do is a lot of fun, and it really kicks ass. So I thought maybe it would be fun to show you guys that. So without further ado, let me keep on talking about the X-T2 and the X-T20. So I do own the X-T2, and I do have pros and cons on the X-T20. So bear in mind, I am an amateur photographer. I always say this as well. My breadwinning source of cash has always been video. So I do a lot of videos, video production, and I am going to talk a tiny bit about the video capabilities of the X-T20. So let me bring you guys to the pros and cons list right away, and let's talk about what I talk about here. Now you can read it forward and actually make comments. I do not mind. It's up to you. But now let me talk to you about some of the pros. So one here is the same inches as the fantastic X-T2 at a way lower price. So that to me is a great thing, is that the innards of the X-T2 is basically inside the X-T20 in an image processing sense, and also for the image processor and the sensor are relatively the same thing. So you're getting the same image quality in a smaller package at a lower price. Now, here are a couple of other things that I really like. Touchscreen choice of focus points is kind of cool. Now, they compensate for the lack of the joystick with the touchscreen so that you can actually get your focus points on the touchscreen. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that, but you know, I have been using the touch screen for my focus points, and it's kind of cool, but the joystick is just an amazing thing on the X-T2. So I just wanted to mention that. Another pro I find is that a lens is, okay, listen, you get all the Fuji lenses, and to me that is a big pro in general. It's just a pro. It's something that's really cool about the X-T20. It's an interchangeable lens Fuji camera. It offers you a whole gamut of Fuji lenses, which, by the way, I just think are absolutely just stunningly amazing. So I just wanted to mention that as well. It's also a really nice B-cam alternative to an X-T2 if you own one. Now, let's go into video capabilities. It films stellar video in a nonchalant way. Why do I say that? Because with the X-T2, you get great video, but it's a bit of a bigger form factor. So when you're actually doing what do I like to call run and gun and clandestine filming, it can be a bit bigger. Therefore, I like the fact that the X-T20 films excellent quality video, guys, and I'm talking great stuff. You can film in 60 frames per second in 1920 by 1080, and you can film 4K with the camera as well. You do have a time limit, but I mean, for most filmmakers out there, the time limit is fine. You're not going to go over that. Event filmmakers, don't think of this camera, because you're dealing in the X-T20, you're dealing with a time limit on your 4K video. With the X-T2, with the booster, you can go up to 30 minutes, but you cannot do that on the X-T20. Just wanted to mention that. Also, the amazing Fuji menu system. Listen, I know it's a pro for both the Fuji X-T20 and the X-T2, but I thought it was something to mention. I have dealt with Sony menu systems, and I never did like them. Another thing I do like is the tilt screen. It's not a flip screen, but it's nice. It is nice. I've always been a fan of tilt screens, and I just wanted to mention that. Oh, Dana Williams mentioned he loves his X-T20. Thank you, Dana. That's cool to know. That's really cool. I like it when people talk to me. It's a lot of fun. Another thing is the continuous focus. Depending on the lens, it is a dream. I have been working a bit with the, let me go back to There we go. Let's go back to the screen. Now, I've been working a bit with the 18 to 55, and that's the kit lens you get with the X-T2. But the 1855 coupled with the X-T20 kicks friggin' ass. I put this thing on continuous focus right here, on continuous, and I filmed 4K, I filmed 1920, I filmed 1080 with this thing, and it just blows my mind. It focuses and does a great job. It is not dual pixel though. The 80D is magical for the ability to continuously focus, but it is up there, not far away from the 80D, not at all. So I think in terms of quality of video, you're going to get something that's just fantastic with this camera. So just wanted to mention that on the tilt screen. It's got a high shutter speed for a lower model camera. It goes up to 1/4,000th of a second, which is always very nice. So I just wanted to mention that. Now let's get into a couple of cons. You've probably been reading ahead of me. Now don't panic. Realize that I love you all. I love the X-T20 and I love everybody out there. This is not a hate thing. This is just what I have experienced while using this camera. Now I say limited touchscreen implementation because I think they give you the ability to use touchscreen. They give you the ability to use touchscreen mostly for focus points and a couple of other functions, but that is about it. There's not much in terms of actually picking menus and anything like that. You can use it for some other things which I have not gotten into, but I know they exist. But it would have been fun to have the touchscreen implementation that you do have on something like the Canon 80D. I mentioned the Canon 80D a lot because that's what I own, guys. That is what I own. What I do like about the X-T20 though is that it does have a touchscreen, whereas the X-T2 does not. I guess Fuji made that decision because they figured that touchscreen is not something that is a professional sort of feature. Therefore, that is why they did that. Now, button placement is not as nice as the X-T2. I think what I'm trying to say on that is that the button placement on the X-T2 is really, it's just a bit, everything's a bit bigger. Look at the size of these hands. They're ridiculous. I'm a clumsy guy. When I put my hand on a camera, I tend to be quite clumsy. And I find that on the X-T20, everything's just a bit smaller, a bit tougher to get to. So it's just something that has bothered me quite a bit. Also, I wanted to mention there is there is one thing I put in the pros and also in the cons. So in the pros, I mentioned that the X-T20 is small, and I think this is something that is great because I personally think that the X-T20 with a pancake lens becomes a small street photography contender. I really think so. I really think it becomes a good street photography contender if you put a pancake lens, which Fuji does offer in its lens line, and not cheap lenses. They offer you some great lenses, namely the 23mm, and I believe the 18 is a good lens as well. So they offer that. So the fact that it's small is great. But as you can see, I'm in the cons list right now. The fact that it's small with my big hands sometimes can be a bit of a downside. That is for me, guys. I understand if it's not for you. Small can just be a great thing only. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. What's this guy saying? Andrea DeMeo, there he is. How does the X-T20 handle? I will talk about that in a second for sure, Andrea DeMeo, for sure. Now, I also wanted to mention that another downside is the fact that the card slot is inside. Let me switch over to the webcam. That the card slot is inside where the battery is. Now, it's probably because of the size of the form factor that they cannot put it on the side, but it's just a lot of fun to have a side address for the memory card, especially when you're sticking the camera on a tripod and you close up that area where the battery is and you can't get to there as easily. So it might cause a bit of problems with your workflow. Now, And the last con I put in here, and it's really the last thing, because, you know, in general, this camera is just beautiful. I never thought I'd love the X-T20 as much as I do. I never thought I'd freak out on how cool it is the fact that it lacks a bit of the pro features that the X-T2 can have. But, you know, the things, what in this con, I'm actually going to give a pro, in the sense that it doesn't have the high shutter speed sync, lack of a battery grip option, and a couple of other things. But kudos to Fuji for knowing which features not to put on the camera. Therefore, it's a con, but in the way it is a pro. So that's the type of things I have wanted to forward to you guys as the sort of cons that I felt this camera had. I am opening the discussion to you guys as well as to what you think the cons are. I'd like to hear what you have to say and give me some pros as well. So let me read just some of the comments here. I got Andre De Mayo, who says, how does the X-T20 handle the 55-200? Well, Andre De Mayo, if you can and you get a chance, go check out, I don't know if I have that in here. No, I don't. I don't have that, but I will. You know what I'm going to do, Andrea? I'm going to leave you a link in the description of this video to what I did with Angela McElroy Waker. And most of the shots I took of her from afar, the X-T2's battery had got, something had happened to the X-T2. It sort of conked out. I think I absentmindedly did not charge it right. And here, let me pull this up a bit. There you go. And I had to use the X-T20. I put the 55-200 on the X-T20, and I shot in a low light situation, and it did a great job. What I was amazed at was the ability to focus right in and razor sharp from far away. On those shots, I was very far away from Angie. Hold on, maybe I can go and pick up those. I can get those sources, web page, text. You know what? I'm going to go into this and give me a second. I'll see if I can get some stuff out. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay, there you go. This is just going to be on the screen, but it doesn't matter, you know? Okay, this right here is done with the 55-200 X-T20. And this stuff is razor sharp. The image, sorry, it's loading because I'm in Bridge right now, so it looks a bit pixelated right now, but it will load. There you go. So you can see most of these images are razor sharp with Angie, and the camera did a great job. I used it from afar. I used it from below when I did these shots with Angie as well. They came out really, really well. I just wanted to show you that because I knew that that's the question you had. So over here we have HHS is available through update and right flash unit like Nissan. Okay, that's cool to know. Okay, so Oliver Harron says you can get high-speed sync and it's available through update, and you have to use the right flash. I think that's what he's saying. The right flash unit, the actual flash trigger unit. I want to ask you, Oliver, what sort of flash do you have to get with it? Is it a whole package? Normally you get the flash unit and the flash trigger that are coupled together. So if you can just clarify that so people can know, that would be nice, because that is kind of cool, because you do not have a leaf shutter because of the interchangeable lenses like you'd have on the X100F. And I have the F2500, which also has that leaf shutter, so you can play with high-speed sync. You can play with no speed sync, really. But that is fun to know, because I do use my 80D right now for high-speed sync because I have the Yangyo trigger system for high-speed sync for that. So it's kind of good to know that they have that out now. Dana Williams retracted a message. Okay, here he goes. Adding a grip will make you very happy. Wish I could post a link. Yeah. Also, great shot. Thank you very much. That shot, that's a great, that's another one, by the way, Dana. If you want to check it out, go check it out. I have a behind the scenes. I also have a video I did the same day. All the video, it's called Blue Red, and all the video, I'll leave a link to that below. All the video on that is filmed with the X-T2 and the X-T20. The wide angle is filmed with the 80D though. Had no problems matching, but it was a lot of fun. Nissan i60A. That's the flash, you guys. Oliver is talking about. The Nissan i60A is the flash he's talking about. So it's kind of good to know that you can do that. And you can, I guess you can do high-speed sync on the X-T20, and you can put that sync probably on the X-T2 as well. If you can let us know, Oliver, that would be good to know. Also, Oliver's saying it also has an air commander, and Godox also has some systems out. Well, that's kind of cool to know as well. Listen, it's been a lot of fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I'm at 20 minutes now. I'm not a big fan of making my live posts too long. If you guys have any other questions, anything you'd like to say, please feel free to shoot in. The last thing I'm going to do before I let you guys go is talk about some of this. Is going to be loud. Okay, there we go. Go into videos. I know this is kind of corny, and I know I'm doing some selfless self-promotion, but I just wanted to let you guys know a couple of the videos I have out. These are the ones checking out the X-T2 and the X-T20, and my surprise at the quality of the X-T220 at the 55-200. And there's blue-red right here, and there's behind the scenes with Angie. So I just wanted to tell you that those do exist, and just so you can know that they're out there. Oliver, yes, Godox, better price. Thanks, Jacques. Listen, I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun doing these live things. And by the way, sorry guys for breaking a promise. I told you that I'd be shooting this on Thursday, but I was too eager to test out whether I was getting freezing problems with my live stream, because I think I diagnosed it right. My sound card was making everything freeze. So I have tons of live streams out there that sort of bust out, and halfway through the live stream it just ends. So the following cameras: X-T2, fantastic camera, love it with the battery grip. I'm using it tomorrow. It is a great camera. And the X-T20, right now you are looking at my street photography kit. For now, I'm thinking of getting a pancake. Again, I keep on asking you guys, give me your suggestions on the best Fuji pancake. Now, I already have the 35 f2, so I am looking at a wider focal length, but I am looking to use the X-T20 and a small pancake for my street photography. But for now, the 18-55 with that focal length and the quality of lens here with the X-T20, I am laughing. Focus is great on this thing, and everything is working out really great. I am always utterly surprised by the APS-C quality out of the Fuji cameras. The processor, the sensor, everything out there is really great, and I really do love it. Oliver's saying he's jealous that I got the X-T2 and the X-T20. It is a great combination, Oliver, if you can go out there. Most likely with the XH1, the X-T2 will be going down in price, so it might be interesting if you guys want to check it out. Check out that X-T2 if you don't need IBIS and a couple of other things that the X-T, and if you don't need some of those video-centric things, you might want to think of getting an X-T2. Just strongly consider the X-T2 or even the X-T20 instead of getting the XH1 if you're a new guy out there and you're thinking of buying something right off the bat. So there you go. You guys, follow, like, subscribe, and don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing. Cool. Now I gotta end this. See, that's the problem. I don't know how to end these things, but I think what I do is I just go